Everybody to our webinar today. We're super excited to see what 2200 North looks like after all of its renovations. So super happy to be joining us. But Brad is joining us. Brad is the manager of 2200 North. So if you're unfamiliar about where that is, at the Campus Health Center, or the Campus Health Center, the Campus Ice Center, it is the restaurant there. So super popular place to be. And Brad, I'm really excited to see kind of what's new for students, how it's changed, and I'm also very excited about this deconstructed Nanaimo Bar that we're making in a little bit. So thank you so much for having us. Thanks for the tour, and thank you in advance to the chef for making this awesome dessert for us. It's one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us, and welcome to the new 2200 North. This is our new design. As you can see, we're having a much more modern look to the restaurant. You'll see lots of fancy sponsored work here by Budweiser and Labatt. We have all fresh flooring and paint. The tables are all redone, and just overall a much cleaner look to the restaurant.
It's nice and bright too.
Yeah, that's something we've heard a lot from customers. Is wow, it's bright in here. So
yeah,
that's I think it's good feedback to hear. So down this way, we have a wall dedicated to the student athletes and the students. You can see up here we're supporting the Ridgebacks, the Lords, and down at the end there you'll see our Student Zone banner for the OTSU and DC Inc. We always love having students in. They're the foundation of our campus, and we're hoping to get more and more in every day. So down here you see our championship wall, featuring some Durham Lord and Ontario Tech Ridgeback athlete pictures. The restaurant overlooks both hockey pads here. They're currently empty.
Brad, didn't always used to overlook both?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
There's often a curtain covering up the second pad here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A bit darker in here, so we've taken that out to keep the light coming in.
Yeah. And Brad, when you were saying about welcoming students, what are your current hours of operation so they know when they can come in?
So from Tuesday to Friday, we're open from 4 till 11, and on the weekend, we're open from noon until 11.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, and we have our bar has been totally redone as well. So for any students who are of legal drinking age, we can have them in, and some great new products on our line. Now let's go back and see what the chef's doing.
Perfect.
So this is Chef Derek.
Hi, Chef Derek.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. What are we working on? Doing this dessert? Want the guys to get right into it, or what?
Certainly, if you'd like to. I'm pretty excited. I was saying Nanaimo bars are one of my absolute favorite desserts, so this you couldn't have picked better for me anyway.
Cool. Okay, look, it's really simple dessert to put together if you have the tools, which are literally a pot, a bowl, a whisk, maybe a food processor if you really want to like break down your coconut and your nuts. You don't have to. It's not a necessity. I do because I like the texture. It makes the actual base really smooth and easier to fork through and eat. So the idea behind it is very simple. So butter, cocoa, sugar, egg. The quantities I know are posted on the Instagram. I'm not sure where else they've been posted.
Yeah, we'll pop them on the website too. Thank you.
Wonderful. So these are the first 4 ingredients we're going to use. The second is the coconut. I use sweet coconut. I personally just like adds a little bit of sweetness to the actual dish. Some almonds, and this is graham cracker. Okay. I'll take you over to the actual stove top for the first set of ingredients. So the idea is you don't want your water too hot. You want it at a decent simmer. Okay. The idea behind doing what we call like a double boiler is so that you don't end up burning your butter or browning it. Okay, and that way it just saves you from actually burning anything. I pre-cut all my butter. It's equivalent of 250 milliliters. And what this does is it allows it to melt more evenly rather than just adding in a block of butter and waiting for it to melt down. It's a little quicker as well. So we're just going to melt this down. It won't take too long. And then what we do is we just add in the remaining ingredients and whisk it till it's decent and thick. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the bowl back over and add the other ingredients and make the mix. And then I'm going to show you guys how we plate the dessert. I have the custard made and the ganache made, so the chocolate ganache. Maybe we could revisit that on another day. And then we can put the whole thing together and you guys can see how we are doing it here. It's a menu item at 2200 North. Basically all I did was it's like a deconstructed Nanaimo Bar. So we're not making the actual bar, but the premise is still the same. So there's that. Mike, can you grab a cloth, please, and thank you. What did you tell? Rag, please. I have some folded up. So we're just going to move the butter around.
Chef, did you say, does it matter if it's salted or unsalted butter?
Preferably unsalted, thank you very much. Preferably unsalted. I like adding salt to taste for my own taste. So you can use salted. It's not gonna ruin the dish by any stretch. If you want that a little bit of flavor, there, what it might do is create almost like with the sugar and the salt, like a caramel flavor. I personally just use unsalted butter. I think it's just more of a chef thing. Most kitchens we use unsalted butter, and we salt and pepper to taste, right? So anyway, so now we're gonna add the sugar once the butter's melted. We're gonna add the sugar. Move that around. You do it in sections, okay? Just gonna whisk that up. Then we're gonna add the cocoa. Normally you want to do it a little bit at a time, just in case it gets too thick.
I'm surprised actually that you're heating it all on the stove. I would have thought you melted the butter and then heated things on the side.
No, just do it all together.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll just mix it all together. I like to do it this way, just because it's like a monitor the progress of the actual dish. So that's why I do it this way. So again, the recipes are on the site, and I know they're on the Instagram. I actually just posted to my own personal today. So maybe get some more viewers. So there you go, that's that. So once this is starting to thicken a little bit, the sugar will help with that, to thicken it. We're just gonna add the beaten egg, okay? So it's 2 eggs. I have 3 in here, just so I can get it the right thickness, so you never know if you need more. So it's always a good step is to add a little extra egg. Now the idea is you don't want it to split, so you do have to keep moving it. As soon as it starts to split, if you see butter coming out, you might have to start all over again. Or you can add extra cocoa just to thicken it back up.
So there's no taking a washroom or a coffee break right now, I see. There's no taking a washroom or a coffee break right now, I see.
No, there isn't.
Okay.
So look, now it's starting to thicken. I can see it, right? And it could possibly split soon. So I'm going to take it off the heat, and we're going to walk over to the other section. Constantly moving it, by the way. You want to keep moving it. You don't want to stop moving it. Okay. And this is the part that will really work out your arm. We're going to add the coconut. Okay. We're going to add all of it.
So would you say so far this is the most popular dessert on the menu?
Definitely, 100%. Mike, can you grab me a spatula, please? So we're going to add our nuts. Mix it in. Okay. Get them in there nice and even. You don't want like batch, like clumps of coconut or your almonds. And we'll add our graham crumb, which I also had in the food processor, just so you're aware. So now I'm just gonna stop with the whisk. We're gonna use a spatula to move this around. It does make it a little bit easier on your wrist and your shoulder if you're doing this, you know, a lot, which we do. We make this pretty often. Okay, so this is the base of it, and then we need to press it. Michael, where'd he go? Can you please grab me a large can of chickpeas? Yeah, or tomato, whatever, it doesn't matter. So why I'm asking my sous chef to do that is because we're going to press this so that it'll hold its form, and then we're going to let it cool in the fridge overnight, and then the next day we'll cut it into you know, either 2-inch, 4-inch squares, whatever you want. So this is pretty much the mixture.
So
Okay.
pretty thick.
It is pretty thick, yeah, but very smooth texture when you actually are eating it. It kind of melts in your mouth. So now you just want to, we have these, whatever you have at home you can use, something similar to this. Some parchment paper. These are half hotel pans in the kitchen world, as they're called. So we're just going to get our mixture into here. On the actual parchment. 1 second. You don't need gloves for home, but anyways, so I'm just gonna get this pressed down. Okay. So you want it on all sides. So you can use a baking sheet for this, or even like a muffin, or not a muffin tin. What you wanted to do muffin tin. But you can use like a loaf pan or two, right? And we want to just try to get, now here we're not looking for super perfect, you know, edges or anything. Our dessert, although it is pretty, we're still not completely focusing on having it completely perfectly shaped. We want it to look somewhat rustic at least. And another piece of parchment on top. Another pan on top. Push down. And here, you need some weight. So, we use chickpeas. And that will press it down and it'll end up keeping its form. We're going to set that aside. We're going to let it cool in the actual fridge. Here. So now we'll actually plate the dessert how we do here.
While you're doing that, chef, what would happen if you don't weight it down overnight in the fridge? What would happen if you don't weight it down overnight in the fridge?
If you don't,
Yeah.
it'll be too warm. The idea is to cool it into shape, so that'll actually hold. If you don't, it might completely fall apart on you if you're
Oh, okay.
at room temperature. I mean, it's not horrible to do that. You know, it's not like you're gonna ruin it by leaving it at room temp if your house is, you know, at like 21 degrees or something. So I'll bring this over here and then you can. So there's our square. This is our custard. And so we just, in a piping bag, pipe out the custard on top. Yay. Very much. I appreciate it.
For anyone who wanted to cheat, can you buy custard that you could pipe out like that?
Yeah, I know there's custards you can purchase at like almost any grocery store. North Nanaimo Bar.
Whoa. Can you describe for us what ganache is?
Ganache is, well, this is basically chocolate. You take semi-sweet chocolate or dark chocolate, you melt down some butter, same way we did with the Nanaimo base, right? So we melt down the butter, and then you add your chocolate. It's in the recipe. You add
Yeah.
your chocolate and you whisk it together. You lay it out on parchment, or if you have those seal pads for baking, you can use that too. And again, you let it cool overnight, or for at least a couple days, to let the chocolate form and harden. It's delicious, like you know. So that's ganache. It's basically butter and chocolate, really.
What's not to like? Butter and chocolate and more chocolate and sugar and cocoa
Right?
and coconut.
And
Ugh,
yes, the dessert that's supposed to be healthy, you know.
exactly.
At least that's the way I look at it.
That looks awesome.
So there's your Nanaimo, and you learned how to make the base. Now I know I did it pretty quick, but we do it all the time here, so
That's okay.
I can get through it pretty fast.
Tell us anything else about the new menu? Can
Pardon me?
you tell us anything else about the new menu there?
Yeah, we're gonna be adding two more items to the menu as of November 3rd. So we're doing a pulled chicken sandwich, barbecue sauce, and an apple slaw. The apple slaw is the dressing for that is going to be a honey mustard. It's basically finely julienne apples and some kale. That'll be the coleslaw for that, or well, the apple slaw for that. And then we have what we're calling a harvest poutine. So what we've done is we've made a coq au vin, which is basically a red wine chicken gravy. Um, we have roasted pearl onions, some roasted brunoise carrots, which are very small pieces of carrot and quickly roasted so that they still have some crunch. Um, we actually have cheese curds. I find for myself when I eat around Durham, I find most restaurants tend to have mozzarella that's been shredded and put onto the poutine. That's not a poutine. You need cheese curds. Without them, it's not a poutine, right? Um, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and some pulled chicken on that as well. So we're kind of going into this pulled chicken phase. Following that, we're going to be doing a pulled pork as well. That'll be December, and also in December, we're going to be throwing a roast beef, open-faced roast beef with crispy shallots, chives, and some pecorino melted on top. And that'll come with a demi-glaze, which is basically like a beef jus. So those are like the next few new items that we're going to be putting on the menu. That being said, we're actually pulling a couple off to make room for these new menu items. So that's the new adventure in food for us.
Awesome. Sounds great. Of the current menu that you have, what are the two most popular items, do you think?
Oh, definitely our burger. Our burger for sure. We do sell a lot of wings. I'd say our Caesar salad. It's again, like everything's made in house, right? It's all made from scratch. We don't buy anything bottled in at all. So all of our sauces and everything are made in house, right? So a lot of people come in to try the wing sauces that we're making. So our wings are pretty popular. Our burger is definitely popular. I'd say that those are probably the two things that we sell the most. Third or close second would be our taro root nachos. And again, we're making our own guacamole, our own salsa, and we do black bean hummus as well on top of that. Our bacon for that is pancetta that we slice down really thin and bake that off. And then prior to serving, we sear it quick just to give it a little bit more color. So there's
Oh my gosh, it all sounds so good.
and it's smothered with like a ton of cheese too, right?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the chocolate. What's not to love about cheese?
Yeah.
That looks awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm like really excited. I must admit I have not been there yet, but I will be. It'll be on the list, and that Nanaimo bar for sure. And I'm really interested in the taro root nachos too. That they sound very good.
Perfect. Can't wait to have you in.
Well, thank you. Anita, Tim, any questions? Oh, Anita says that dish looks amazing and the new menu sounds delicious.
Sweet.
Very good.
Pretty excited about it.
Awesome. Tim, are you going to throw in your 2 cents there? No?
No, I'm okay, Angie. I just want to say thanks very much for doing this.
Oh no, it's super exciting. I love the idea that things are homemade. I think people are really looking to that right now, especially right now, knowing where things are coming from and how they're being made. I think it's yeah, really important. So can't wait to see you over there. Can't wait to see you guys. Thank you again for doing this for us. We're so appreciative.
Okay, take care.
We'll do it
Thank
again.
you.
Thanks
Thank you.
everybody. Thanks Anita.